Hi, welcome back to the Integrated Leader Podcast. I'm Lauren Marie. Today we're kicking off a new 5-part series called Tension on Purpose, Leading with Power and Heart. If you've ever felt like you're living in a contradiction, like you're two different people depending on the room you're in or the hat you're wearing, I want you to know that you are in the right place. This series is for the leader who moves fast but also deeply cares. For the one who's results driven, but also sensitive. For the one who can get it done, but wonders at what cost. I call this the invisible tension in high performers. And today we're going to name it, normalize it, and begin to explore why it might not be a problem to solve, but a signal to integrate. Let's start with the question. Have you ever noticed that the very traits that make you effective also wear you out? Maybe you're someone who others describe as decisive. You don't get stuck in the weeds. You move, you execute, you lead. But underneath that, there's a tender heart, and you want people to feel seen. You want the work to matter, and you want to win, yes, but you don't want to lose yourself or your values in the process. Or maybe you're the influencer type. You're enthusiastic, people-loving, full of vision and optimism, and people are drawn to you. But when it's time to follow through on every promise, you're stretched thin because maybe you overcommitted again. You might feel like you're always running at capacity and you're still not quite getting it right. That's the tension I'm talking about. And I want to say something clearly. This tension isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you are human and highly capable. In fact, the more dynamic and multidimensional you are, the more likely you are to experience internal contradiction. Here's what I mean. There's a difference between behavior and motivation, between how you act and why you move. Behavior is observable. It's your style, your pace, your tone, your habits. Motivation lives underneath. It's the stuff that pulls at your gut. It's your values, your drivers, the why behind the what. Sometimes these two align beautifully, but often, especially in leaders, they clash. You might be wired to move fast, behavior, but you're motivated by excellence or depth or connection. So now you're trying to do deep, meaningful work quickly, and that can be exhausting. Or you're an extrovert who's motivated by structure. So you're torn between spontaneity and planning. And either way, someone's disappointed, and it's usually you. This internal friction is one of the biggest energy drains I see in leadership. And most of us don't know it's even happening. So what do we do about it? We integrate. We stop trying to choose between one side or the other, and we start building practices that honor both. We lead in a way that says, I can be both strong and soft. I can be both fast and thoughtful. I can be both the one who acts and the one who reflects. You don't have to live in the extremes to be effective. In fact, your power often comes from your ability to stretch, to hold multiple truths, and to keep showing up with intention. So here's the practice today. I want you to notice the tension, your tension, name it without judgment. It might sound like, I love being in charge, but I also don't want to seem controlling. Or, I value excellence, but I keep running out of time. Or, I crave structure, but I also want freedom. Write it down, speak it out loud, share it with someone safe. Then ask yourself, what's one small way I can honor both sides of this? Maybe it's communicating your intention more clearly when you're being direct. Maybe it's giving yourself permission to delegate something that's draining you. Maybe it's blocking 30 minutes to reflect before you act, even when urgency calls. You were never meant to fit neatly into a box, my friend. You were meant to bring your full, integrated self to your leadership. That includes the contradictions. That includes the complexity. That includes the very human tension between power and heart. This week, we'll keep exploring how to work with that tension instead of against it, because there's a deep wisdom in your wiring and real freedom when you stop fighting it. Thanks for being here with me today. If this resonated, I'd love for you to share this episode with someone you lead or someone who leads you. We all need more grace and clarity around the parts of ourselves that don't feel consistent, but are actually essential. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 2, called Fast Movers with Big Hearts, the Persuader Paradox. Until then, I'm Lauren Marie, and this is the Integrated Leader Podcast. See you then.